I did a clean out of my computer and I dumped all my links. So sorry.
Oh, I've been there.
I don't like to do that. Okay.
Mm, I'm not one for doing that either, although it's probably to my detriment.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We are being recorded, so I will say the spiel. Okay. Before we get started, please be advised that the Committee of Adjustment hearings are recorded, and a copy of this recording will be posted on the city's website and YouTube channel. Those in attendance may be included in this footage. By attending this meeting, you are agreeing to be part of this recording. Okay. Um, does anyone have any items they would like to discuss regarding the procedural orders?
I'll
Through the
move them.
chair, I still need to let people in.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Terribly sorry about that.
You're going to have to say that again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Sandra, is that everybody? Oh, nope, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe we're good to go. There's one still joining, but I already see him listed as
Okay.
attending down below.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I will say the recording message again, just as we have new people in. So please be advised that the Committee of Adjustment. I am sorry about that. Apparently, somebody's decided they needed to call me right now. Okay. Let me start again. Please be advised that the Committee of Adjustment hearings are recorded, and a copy of this recording will be posted on the city's website and YouTube channel. Those in attendance may be included in this footage. By attending this meeting, you are agreeing to be part of this recording. All right. With that said, does anyone have any items they would like to discuss regarding the procedural orders?
No, I'll move them.
All right, Cheryl will move, Miriam will second. There's no further discussion. All in favor? Jeff? There we go. Oh, he's got his hand up. Okay. All right, motion passes 5-0. Okay, first item on the agenda is a bit of correspondence from the Chippewa of the Thames First Nations regarding a previous item. I said what we'll need to do is make a motion to receive, and any discussion we can do once we have the motion on the floor. All right, Miriam? Oh,
I'll
you can't hear.
move to receive, I'll move to receive the correspondence.
Okay. All
Put her
right.
on the floor.
Jeff?
Second it. Second it.
Okay, Jeff will second. Now they have a motion on the floor. If anyone has anything they would like to say. Jeff?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, as I was the committee member that put the motion forth to remove the archaeological study on this file, I want to apologize to the people of the Chippewas of the Thames. But I also have a few questions.
Okay.
So when the file is circulated, we know it's circulated to all the internal departments. We also know it's circulated to the Upper Thames River Conservation Authority. Is it circulated to the Chippewas of the Thames?
Question
To the chair, yeah, all First Nations bands are circulated on planning applications, including minor variances and consents.
Okay, thank you. Question now to Heritage staff. If a file comes from a building permit, and they don't need a minor variance, and does Heritage, when they give their approval, ask that it be conditional on archaeological assessment?
Through the chair, there is the ability to have conditions on a building permit. The chief building official is obliged to issue that permit unless there are matters of applicable law. There are certain sections of the Ontario Heritage Act that are applicable law, and that includes if there is a registered archaeological site on the property, as well as the Funerals, Burials, and Cremation Services Act, which is considered applicable law, in addition to other parts of the Ontario Heritage Act. Archaeological assessments, however, are triggered through Planning Act processes, including minor variances.
Thank you. So can you explain the other Planning Act items that would create that?
Sure. Through the chair, an archaeological assessment could be triggered by a plan of subdivision, an official plan amendment, a zoning bylaw amendment, site plan, a consent, or a minor variance.
Thank you. And the archaeological master plan states that there's 19,000 hectares, about 45% of the city of London's land mass. And we're not able to see this invisible map. So I think it would be very important that we have a representative from heritage staff for each and every file. Therefore, we can ask direct questions such as if there's already been an archaeological assessment on the current property or the neighboring property, why is it part of, when it's part of the heritage district, it's automatically on the archaeological assessment map, but we're not privileged to any other information. All we have is a item from Heritage saying they give approval with this condition. So without the ability to ask, we don't know how important, we don't know if there's a neighboring issue. And on top of that, if it's circulated to the Chippewa of the Thames and they don't respond, again, how do we know if it's important or not? So my question, get to the question, is in the future, is heritage staff prepared to come to our meetings?
Through the chair, heritage staff do review all of the minor variances that are applied for, and the comments from heritage staff are included within the staff recommendations that are presented to you. Heritage staff do review all of the applications to ensure that if there are in areas of archaeological potential, that an archaeological is recommended as a condition of the minor variance where there are ground disturbing activities. However, if there are no ground disturbing activities that are contemplated reasonably within the scope of the minor variance, staff do not make those recommendations as they're not applicable. The city does have a responsibility to ensure that archaeological sites are protected, and that does require a certain degree of confidentiality. So archaeological assessments are not subject to MFIPA, the Municipal Freedom of Information and Privacy Protection Act, as the city has an obligation to ensure that those sites are protected. One other point that I would like to clarify is that just because a property is within a heritage conservation district doesn't automatically mean that it has archaeological potential. Archaeological potential is a model that was applied through the AMP, our archaeological management plan, based on the past archaeological sites that had been identified. And when we last reviewed that AMP, it was found that there was a 99% efficacy rate, meaning that archaeological sites were found in areas of archaeological potential. Our potential model is working, and that is the best mode that we have to ensure that areas, significant archaeological sites are protected and conserved in accordance with our policy framework.
Thank you, but you didn't answer my question. Are you prepared to come to the meetings, yes or no?
With all due respect, I think that's a bigger question. There is a competent staff team, and Heritage as subject matter experts do provide advice to the general planners who are here and provide recommendations to this committee.
Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Chair, it's been moved to receive. Do you want to call the question? Okay. Turn your mic on. Turn your mic on. Steve, turn your mic on.
Yes. I'm just moving the thing around. Okay. All right. We have a motion by Miriam and a second by Jeff. There's no further discussion. All in favor of motion?
No. I have something to the discussion.
Oh, you have
If that's
something to
okay.
discussion. Okay.
Yeah. I have a question. for staff. This question is in the terms of there are certain municipalities that have chosen not to keep the maps protected or confidential or whatever it is.
Miriam,
Can I?
Miriam, we're going down a different path.
Okay.
Can you meet with staff on that? Because that's
Yes.
an issue, but it's not relevant to this committee of adjustment. I think we've moved the receipt. It's time to vote.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other municipalities aren't at this table. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Call the
This
question.
is just for the correspondence. So, okay.
All right.
Miriam, you still okay with your motion?
Yep.
Yes, I'm okay.
All right. Miriam has made the motion. Jeff is second. There's no further discussion. All in favor? That motion passes 5-0.
Yep.
Correspondence has been received. Okay. All right then. First item on the agenda is, all right, submission number A26032, notice of public hearing under section 45(1) of the Planning Act, also 1990. The address is 749 Hamilton Road. The applicant is Roger and Roseanne Moriel. The purpose is to permit dwelling units on the ground floor and in the basement. Variances requested are one, to permit a dwelling unit in the front portion of the ground floor and in the basement with no other permitted uses, whereas dwelling units are restricted to the rear portion of the ground floor or on the second floor or above, with any or all other permitted uses to be in the front portion of the ground floor. Okay, is the applicant here?
Let's see his name.
All right.
Through
Give
the
me the
chair,
eight.
it's Danielle Hines.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Daniel.
Hi.
How are you? You're the agent?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. We have seen you before. All right. Okay, before we get started, does anyone require a presentation on this? Seeing none. All right, Daniel, I assume you've had a chance to read the report from the city. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Nope.
All right, short and sweet. All right, we do not have any members of the public here for this. Do not believe, no. So with that, we can move directly to committee. Daniela, you're first on my screen.
I have no questions on this application. Thank you.
All right. Miriam,
No questions.
Cheryl?
Not a question. It breaks my heart. This is right in the Hamilton Road Business District. You know, I hate seeing losing storefronts to residential. It's always very hard for me to come to grips with. But the point is, if we oppose it, it will go past the Ontario Tribunal, and it will be passed. So that's it. That's it for me, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Jeff, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Great. No, I don't have any questions either. Given the area and the subdivision, I think it's probably a good use of the land. So with that said, can I get a motion? Daniela? Danielle will make a motion to approve, I assume. All right. All right, can I get a seconder?
This is a reluctant seconder.
Well, Jeff beat you to it anyway, so you're all right.
Okay, let him beat me. I'll just still
All
win.
right. We got a motion by Daniela to approve. Jeff will second. If there's no further discussion, all in favor? That motion passes 5-0. All right, to the applicant, this permission is not final until the expiration of the statutory appeal period of 20 days from the date a decision has been signed, during which the applicant, the minister, or a specified person or public body may file with the Secretary Treasurer an appeal against the decision of the London Committee of Adjustment. With that, we consider the matter to be closed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right.
Next one, Yeah.
Next item is,
Marianne.
next item on the agenda is submission number A26037, notice of public hearing under section 45 of the Planning Act, also 1990. The address is 10 Mariana Drive. The applicant is MT Johnstone Construction Limited. The purpose is to permit a one-story cluster townhouse development. requests are: one, to permit a rear yard depth of 5.1 meters, whereas 6 meters is the minimum required. Two, to permit an interior side yard depth of 1.5 meters, whereas 3 meters is the minimum required. And three, to permit an interior side yard depth of 1.9 meters, whereas 4.5 meters is the minimum required. Okay, is the agent here, Connor?
Yes. It would be Jersey, actually, in
Oh,
this
Jersey?
case.
Okay, great.
Good
Oh.
afternoon, Chair and
Oh, hold on
committee.
for a second.
Oh, okay.
Just before we get started, does anyone require a presentation? Seeing none? Okay. All right, Jersey.
Good afternoon, Chair and committee. It's good to see you all again today. Here on behalf of MT Johnstone Construction and joined by Connor Johnstone as well. And we're looking at this site at 10 Mariana Drive, formerly a portion of the old McEachran Public School in Lambeth. Just to give you a few understandings of the evolution of this site here, in particular this back portion, we did actually go through a successful rezoning application back in November of 2025. It was a little contentious with the neighbors, and we were requesting at that time 31 three-story townhouses. Since that time, and since we've kind of put together our site plan application, due to economic realities and just the evolution of the site and design, we ended up proposing 24 single-story townhouses on this site. So we reduced the number of units and we've made them single-story. But as you can imagine, a three-story townhouse has a smaller footprint than a one-story townhouse. And as such, we do require some variances to the setbacks, as Steve had mentioned. So a little bit on the west, the north, and the south property lines in order to make the 24 units be able to fit and function properly. And that's what I wanted to bring forward to you today. And we hope to receive your support for this. And if there are any questions, happy to answer them when it's appropriate.
Okay, great. We do have a member of the public here for this. So can I get a motion to open the public portion? Miriam, Cheryl, all in favor? The motion passes 5-0. All right, Sandra, I think it's Joel.
Hello, sir. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm just a representative of the CCS school that's in behind to the south of this proposed property. The only concerns that we have and would like noted is just stormwater management across the south face, specifically in regards to the snow storage and just all along that whole south side. We have a baseball diamond that's directly there, and we'd hate to see that flooded out. And I'm sure the city is considering that. However, we'd like it noted that we don't want that to become an issue. And then I've seen your site plan in regards to fencing, and we're happy to see that there's a decent fence there. We just like to make sure that that is in place.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right, Sandra, I don't have anyone else registered, but is there anyone else here to speak?
Move closure.
No. All right, Cheryl will move to close.
Believe.
Second. Oh, Sandra?
No, we're good.
Okay, great. All right, Cheryl moved. Jeff will second. All in favor? That motion passes 5-0. Okay. I'll give Joel a chance to answer the question, although we already are Joel. Sorry, Jersey. My God, it is not my day. We know the answer that city is already talking about stormwater management and such, but
Absolutely. So we are actively going through a site plan application process currently, and one of those elements that is required of us is to ensure that stormwater is kept on the site and released, or either stored on site or released through the storm's sewer system at a similar rate to what currently exists. And so the request that we're asking today for the setback, in particular on the south, the relief that we're asking for is really for a very small segment of where we actually have the end unit adjacent to the south property line. And that's just a small segment of the entire south property line that is changing. But we are going to ensure that through that site plan process, stormwater will be dealt with, and same with the fencing that's also being dealt with through that site plan process.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, on to committee. Miriam, any questions?
No, I'm good. I don't have any questions.
All right, great. Cheryl, any questions?
Of course not. It's a site plan on that, and you're dealing with a reputable builder, and oh, I shouldn't say that, but they are reputable builders, so I can't say that. And as a senior, I'm going, where do I sign up? That's amazing. One floor in Lambeth? Yep, great idea. You're certainly going to bring different clientele into Lambeth, and I think it'll make it a much, much better cohesive neighborhood.
All right, great.
And I'm not questioning today. I'm talky today.
Oh, you're talking today,
Oh,
not
I
questioning.
had coffee.
Oh,
Danger.
there you go. All right, Jeff, any questions?
And no, thank you.
All right, Daniela.
Yes, I have one question to the applicant.
Oh, and she froze.
Oh,
Perfect timing.
I'm frozen?
Yeah.
You okay? Now you're not. Okay.
Oh,
Ask the
okay.
question again.
All right. My question is to the applicant. The report mentions landscape architecture has a comment about that there's not enough space for trees or landscaping. What I assume you've considered landscaping for this property?
So thank you to the chair. Thank you for the question. Actually, I will allow the staff, if they are there, to be able to provide a clarification on this because we also were confused by the comment. We actually have already addressed issues with landscaping in general on this site, and we are actually providing an enhanced number of trees overall in the entirety of the perimeter of the site rather than looking at it from just every. Of course, there's going to be some areas that may be a little tighter, but for the majority of it, we are able to be providing an enhancement to the landscaping around the edges. And if staff are there, they have assured me that they would let the committee know that that comment has been retracted.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll speak to that as well. Just through discussions with site plan staff, it was confirmed that an external meeting was held with the applicant's landscape team, where their most recent landscape plan was accepted by site plan staff. So further, it was confirmed by landscape architecture staff this morning that there are no concerns with the application. So there was just a little bit of miscommunication there, but we have no concerns.
Yeah.
Great.
And if
Okay.
it's seniors, we'll all put pots out.
There'd be planters up front of every house. All right, Danielle, is that everything?
Yes, thanks.
All right, great. I don't have any other questions either. I was sort of expecting a couple of people from the public that were backing on to this in the residential units, but seeing none, obviously they don't have any issue with it, so I guess neither do I. With that said, can I get some sort of direction?
I'll move it. I'll
Cheryl.
move it.
All right, Cheryl will move.
Yeah.
A second. Miriam will second. All in favor? That motion passes 5-0. Okay, to the applicant. This permission is not final until the expiration of the statutory appeal period of 20 days from the date the decision has been signed, during which the applicant, the minister, or a specified person or public body may file with the secretary treasurer an appeal against the decision of the Lund Committee of Adjustment. With that, consider the matter to be closed. Thank you for your time.
Understood.
I
And
think
thank you.
this fits in really well with Lambeth. I love the rather than 3 stories, love it. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
I don't think stairs were meant for humans. I'm just going to put that out there.
As I get older, I have to admit I agree. My knees are not what they used to be. Okay.
Well, I have new ones, so they're better.
Oh, yeah, you're good. You got bionic ones.
You have the replacement ones for
Mhm.
stairs. There are 4 stairs.
Yeah. All right. All right. On to the next item.
Mhm.
Next item is submission number A26038. Notice of public hearing under section 45(2) of the Planning Act, RSO 1990. The address is 108 King Edward Avenue. The applicant is St. Leonard Society of London. The purpose is to permit the expansion of a non-conforming group home type 2. And the request is 1 to permit a group home type 2 for the accommodation of up to 25 beds. Okay. I don't have any. Oh, we do. well, we got a member of the public, but it's from St. Linders. We did receive a little bit of correspondence from this. And I am going to ask for a presentation on this just for some clarification. This
It's
is,
a refusal, we should, yeah.
yeah, it's Michaela.
Through the chair, that's correct.
Right.
So the following application for 108 King Edward Avenue is for a request under section 45(2)AI of the Planning Act to permit the expansion of a non-conforming group home type 2. So for some planning background, prior to passing of the current bylaw in 93, the Committee of Adjustment approved 2 applications for variances under the former zoning bylaw. A 91 variance increased the number of bedrooms permitted from 8 to 12. And in 92, that was increased again to 18 beds through a second variance. Then in 96, under the current zoning bylaw, a subsequent variance was approved permitting the current number of 20 bedrooms. As the use and current number of bedrooms were lawfully established and have continued without change, the use is recognized as a legal non-conforming use under the Planning Act and London Plan. And the request to permit 5 additional bedrooms within the existing building therefore represents an expansion of a legal non-conforming use. So the London Plan defines a group home as a residence licensed or funded under a federal or provincial statute for the accommodation of 3 to 10 persons, exclusive of staff living under supervision, and then continues into more detail after. And the numerical value established within the definition is important to help distinguish between small-scale supportive housing arrangements and the larger institutional uses. And the proposed intensity of use, in the opinion of staff, expands beyond what is contemplated in the London Plan, with a note that the definition of a group home, including the specific maximum of 10 persons, is drawn directly from the Municipal Act. As the current non-conforming use already contains twice the limit established in the London Plan and Municipal Act, staff are of the opinion that the requested expansion is a further departure from the policies of the London Plan and would result in over-intensification of the non-conforming use. Furthermore, the London Plan definition intentionally limits group homes to small-scale supportive housing arrangements, whereas the existing use has expanded and evolved to a point where it is more closely representative of a larger institutional operation. On this basis, staff are of the opinion that the proposed expansion would not meet the general intent and purpose of the London Plan, as the long-term goal for all non-conforming uses is to either conform with the policies or move towards a location where it's more permitted. Staff are also of the opinion that further expansion of the legal non-conforming use to support long-term continuation of the use on site is not appropriate in the current location. The increased intensity of the use may lead to compatibility concerns in the surrounding neighborhood and reinforce a scale and intensity that does not meet the intent of the London Plan or zoning bylaw. Further, the need for the proposed expansion suggests that the use has outgrown the current site and would be more appropriately located to a higher order street or place type where the institutional use is contemplated. And for these reasons, staff are recommending refusal of the variance. Thank you.
Okay. While we've got you here, Michaela, could you do me a favor and what is a type 2 group home?
Yeah, so I can actually read out the definition. It's basically a residence for accommodation of up to 8 persons, 10 in the London Plan, just noting that the zoning bylaw is a little behind, excluding staff that is maintained and operated primarily for persons who have been placed or prohibited or on probation. So it's basically a supportive form of housing where a group of people live collectively with or without staff.
All right, great. Okay, we don't have any members of the public registered for this.
We did get a letter.
We did get a letter. We did get some correspondence. But Sandra, is there anyone here to speak to this?
And through the chair, Stacy actually had notified me that she's public, so she may wish to speak. She's just joined the meeting.
Okay. All right. With that said, can I get a motion to open the public portion? Miriam, Cheryl, all in favor? That motion passes. Jeff? That motion passed 5-0, I assume.
Yes.
All right, good. Okay. All right, Sandra, is it Stacy?
Through the
Acker?
chair, that is correct.
All right, Stacy Van Acker. Hi, Stacy, you can unmute yourself now.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Great. All right. Just to let you know, we'll limit you to 5 minutes. We won't cut you off or anything like that, but just be mindful of the time. But the floor is yours. Oh, she's muted again. There you go.
Sorry, I just came as an observer on behalf of St. Leonard's in support of my colleagues.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we can close the public portion.
I did want to speak, however.
You will. Yeah, you'll get a chance to the
Okay.
applicant to speak. Yeah. All right. Miriam, did you make the motion to close? Okay, Miriam will close. Take a second. Jeff, all in favor? That motion passes 5-0. Okay. All right, Michael, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Okay. I assume you've had a chance to read the report from the city. Is there anything you'd like to add or question, Jeff?
Yeah, I just wanted to take a few moments to introduce a little bit about St. Leonard's generally and then talk about the property specifically. St. Leonard's is one of those organizations that some people have heard of, but may not know a lot about. We've been operating in London for about 57 years. Over the time that I've been here, I've had the chance to speak with many of our elected officials, including both city councilors and members of provincial and federal government. And most are surprised to learn that there are 4 halfway houses operating in London. I think that's really a bit of a testament to the good work that we do and the experience and expertise that we have in maintaining both safe facilities, but also contributing to a safe community. The building in question today at 108 King Edward, we provide support to members of the London community that have been incarcerated. They've served their time and they're returning to London. It's important to understand that these people will be coming back to our community regardless. In some cases, they've been mandated to. And our facility facilitates that return to the community by providing a transitional residential support, improving community safety, and getting people connected with the supports that they may need, whether that's healthcare or employment, education, community services, and so on. The building in question at 108 King Edward, we've been running for 40 years in partnership with Correctional Services Canada through a federal contract, one of several that we have. In the planner's report, as Michaela mentioned, I mean, we've increased from 8 beds to 12, 18, and 20, and all of those increases have been very successful because of our commitment to working with this population. We are also one of the Housing First programs operating in partnership with the City of London. So we know very well the challenges with availability of housing for vulnerable and at-risk populations. Our request to add the additional 5 beds reduces the strain and demand on those other city services and allows individuals to receive services and housing by the organization, quite frankly, that is best positioned to serve them. I think there's some value in highlighting that the planner's report noted that our request does not align with many of the criteria of the London plan. The building is going to continue to be used, or sorry, the request does align with many of the criteria in the London plan, and that was that the building is going to continue to be used in the same manner and for the same purpose as the current use through an expansion of an already existing zoning approval. Staff also noted, although it wasn't shared currently, that there have been no complaints to the city about that location in the past 30 plus years of operation. We're not asking to physically expand our building. I mean, we can accommodate the additional people within our current physical layout, and there are no adverse impacts to the surrounding properties. We note that the neighboring buildings, which are essentially identical builds, are apartment buildings. And while I can't easily find any data on how many apartments are in each building, even very conservatively, if there were 4 apartments on each of 2 floors with a family of 3 living in them, that's 24 or more residents already living there currently. What we're asking for doesn't exceed that. Similar to what may be happening in other buildings, the people staying with us are members of our community. They may have jobs, they may be attending school, and so on. They are not confined to the building 24 hours a day. Thus, the actual intensity of the building is not dissimilar from what one might reasonably expect in the neighborhood. We note that there was a potential remedy in relocating or moving to a new location where institutional uses are contemplated. This is, of course, not a simple thing for a nonprofit organization to just get up and move. And I might add that with the way that the zoning definitions work, we would be receiving similar challenges everywhere with regards to a type 2 group home or a supervised residence. It seems that the current zoning definitions would prohibit us from ever operating this type of establishment, which is also unfortunately does not actually align with best practices, which points to the importance of being embedded within communities and moving away from further institutional. Thus, our request today is that our experience in serving the London community and in promoting community safety might be recognized, and that we be allowed to continue to doing what we do best, providing a safe and inclusive housing for some of our community members that may not have other options. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Great, thank you. Okay, we can move on to committee. Cheryl, any questions?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chair. Michael, can I call you Michael?
Of course you can.
Okay, thank you. Tell me about the supervision. Do you have somebody in the building all the time?
Yes, 24/7.
So how many complaints have you received?
Complaints about what?
About anything. We got a letter from a woman who's quite concerned with what's going on. And I think what's happening is there's a mixture of the homelessness, and they think it's coming from your building. And it could actually, so when you read the letter, it sort of horrifies me that you're not doing your job. So I'm asking you, are you doing your job?
We are. So the St. Leonard's, can I call you Cheryl? Is that all right?
You can, you absolutely can. Better
St.
than when other
Leonard's,
people call me.
St. Leonard's operates a number of different types of programs. So we work in youth justice, developmental services, the adult justice sector, and housing first. And so there is a lot of confusion about what we do. Sometimes we've been called one of London's best kept secrets because not a lot of people understand that. Like the specific location that you're talking about, we have not had any complaints. When it comes to housing first, there are complaints about homelessness broadly, and that is often a bit of a broad brush stroke against various housing first organizations. And so they are two very separate things.
Yes, I understand St. Leonard's. I've been involved with YOU for 30 years, so I understand the
Okay.
whole situation. So I just, well, when I was on council, that was when the world was flat. We had a completely different method of bringing group homes into the area, which was wrong. Everybody had to agree to bringing people in. And it reaches a point where you say, well, I only want good neighbors. And that's not fair. We get the neighbors, right? That's how it is in real society. So I really want to support this. And I know it's contrary to staff's suggestion, but I do understand exactly A, what you do, and B, how successful you are at it. And it's very difficult to move. I understand that too. Sorry, Mr. Chair, I was going all over the place, but that's my prerogative at my age.
No.
And I might add that at one of our other locations, one of our neighbors actually wondered if they could support our application because they find us to be very good neighbors. So I will share that, but I mean, that person isn't here today.
Well, appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Chair.
All right. Jeff, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
All right. Daniela.
Yes, through you, I have a question to Michael. I'm curious how the buildings are set up. Are they set up as apartments, and how many are there?
The units inside the building that we have?
Yes.
Yes, they're essentially self-contained apartments. I mean, when we purchased the building, it was an apartment building, and while we've renovated it over time, because we do as part of our operations, we do supervise the people that are living there when they're physically in the building, but they have individual units.
So does does everyone have their own bedrooms?
There are both individual bedrooms and there are a few shared bedrooms. If I could, one of my colleagues, Brandon Wilson, who's on this call, he is more familiar with the like the actual layout of the building. He could potentially answer that for you, Daniela, if you'd allow him.
Yeah.
Hi,
Absolutely.
hi everyone. Thanks. Yeah, so as Michael said, it's a mix of bachelor style units within the building, and then there are some shared accommodations as well. So the majority of them do have their own rooms, but they're sharing common spaces kind of within, if that makes sense. But generally, the majority of the people do have like their single space. Yeah.
So the additional 5 people, how would they be accommodated?
So that is through a renovation of storage rooms and office spaces on one of the levels. We're turning them into bedrooms. So we've had an engineer come through. We've submitted the building plans. We're adding like additional plumbing, for example, like an extra washroom and so on. So we're not putting people into rooms that are already that already have occupants in them.
If I may too, there's a couple other things that I would like to just say that may help kind of have you guys understand like the operations and stuff. So they are supervised within the house. However, like Michael had mentioned, a lot of people are, very pro-social, are working, are going to school, they have families of their own, that we are helping reintegrate them back to the community. So eventually they can get, their full parole and go back and live at home. So, the optics of it isn't like there's 20 to 25 people hanging out all day, every day, outside spreading garbage and things like that, right? Overall, I think we have around a 95% success rate of people who don't reoffend when they are with us. Although that they are independent in the community, they also need to report their whereabouts at all times. So we know where they are at all times. And if that came into question, we have supports from CSC and police and stuff to be able to, kind of remedy those types of issues. So it is 24/7 supervision. We do have staff there at all time, but again, this is important work that we're doing, and this isn't just an individual, issue or a St. Leonard's issue. This is a community issue where I feel that we all have a responsibility to play our part. A lot of these people are people who were pro-social people and still are, community members for their whole life, got into situations where they made a bad decision, they made a mistake, and, they've had to go through the criminal justice system for that, and we're supporting them. So I often say, we're all one hardship or one, mistake away from being justice involved ourselves. So I just ask that everybody kind of recognize that and understand that we're unique in the sense that we are the only ones who are operating like this. I manage one of the halfway houses and then currently managing Cody as well. Our relationships with our neighbors are absolutely, great. I have great relationships. They're happy that we're there. We kind of, go under the radar. We haven't had issues. And if we do have issues, they're dealt with internally very quickly, and we do have the support from CSC and LPS and OPP and stuff to be able to deal with that. But I just really want to highlight that 95% of our people are successful. So yes.
How long do you have an average stay? Like how long from someone coming into your facility before they're able to go home?
It's a great question. It kind of depends on where they are in their sentence and how long they've been sentenced, the length of it. Typically, we're looking at about 6 months if we had to put an average. So they would be released from custody. They would be under supervision. We would support them, getting a job, getting, any needs met that they have, supporting finding housing because we don't want to discharge somebody to homelessness. And we do an amazing job not doing that. But people could be with us for longer term, if they have a life sentence or a long-term supervision order, but typically if we had to put an average on it, we're looking at about 6 months.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, is that everything, Daniela?
Yeah, that's all I've got. Thanks.
All right, Miriam, any questions?
No, but I was ready to refuse this, and thankfully, speaking to you, Michael, I'm starting to come around. So, I'm still unsure. So, thanks.
Great. Yeah, I don't really have any questions. More of a comment. I'm taking up Cheryl's role at this point. No, it's kind of a bittersweet moment when you need to expand something like this. You know, it's my sister works at a group home in Strathroy, and it's a much needed service that's being provided. So, and sadly, as most group homes, regardless of its situation, is a little bit subject to what we call NIMBY. So a lot of people get the wrong idea of what a group home is and what a property one run is, and so I don't have any real problem with this, although I do think we are probably approaching the limit of what this thing could what this building could entail. But with that said, is there any other questions?
No, I'd like to move it.
All right.
I would like to move that we grant the variance. I mean, there's a history here, Mr. Chair, and a successful history. So yeah, I'll move it.
All right. We got two hands up. Are those questions or seconds?
I have kind of a question. Well, it's not really a question. It's a comment that sorry, it's gone. It's gone. Sorry. Just
all right. All right, Jeff, was that a second?
Second.
All right. We have a motion. We have a second. There's no further discussion. All in favor? That motion passes 5-0. Okay, to the applicant, this permission is not final until the expiration of the statutory appeal period of 20 days from the date the decision has been signed, during which the applicant, the minister, or a specified person or public body may file with the Secretary of Treasury an appeal against a decision of the London Committee of Adjustment. But with that, we consider the matter to be closed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I remember now. It was the worry that the management changes because it has such a long history, but I think okay. That was it.
Okay, it's a good organization.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I think the history goes back even when they do change management or whatever, things carry on as well as everything. So, okay. All right, next item. Next item is submission number A26039. Notice of the Planning Act. A notice of public hearing under Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, RSO 1990. The address is 1405 Corley Drive. The applicant is Royal Oak Homes of London Limited. The purpose is to construct a new single detached dwelling. Various requests are: 1, to permit a main building exterior side yard setback of 12.2 meters, whereas 22.6 meters is the minimum required. 2, to permit an attached garage with an exterior side yard setback of 11.2 meters, whereas 12.2 meters is the minimum required. And 3, to permit 2 attached garages with a combined width of 17.8 meters, whereas 15.6 meters is the maximum permitted. Before we get started, I have a quick question to staff. On the last one, we don't get many 2 garage, widths. Is this a continuance of sort of the ratio, the 50% ratio of the facade? Is that something similar to that, or is this a different thing entirely?
Through the chair, that's correct. It does relate to the facade. The regulation states that the garage width shall be 50% or less of the building facade.
Okay. All right. So we're instead of talking percentage, we're talking meters in this case. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I had that correct. All right. Okay. With that said, is the applicant here? Nick?
That is me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Right.
Okay. Before we get started, does anyone require any presentation on this?
Pretty
Seeing none.
self-explanatory. Yeah. It's a good report, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have any members of the public here for this. So we can go on. Okay. All right, to the agent, I assume you've had a chance to read the report from the city. Is there anything you'd like to add or questions you have?
No, not really. I'll mirror the comment, but the report was well done. Very clear and concise. I like that. And then we also have no issues with the recommended conditions that are with this application. I just wanted to add that we're familiar with the Corley area. This is a neighborhood that is defined by large variability between setbacks and lot forms and configurations. And in our opinion, that it's a good fit for the neighborhood, matches the consistent the character, or the matches is consistent with the character of the neighborhood. So it's our opinion that this should be approved. Thanks.
Yeah, great. All right, to committee, Jeff, you're first.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to approve this, but allow me to agree to approve it, but allow me one comment. And sorry, it's about archaeological assessments. This property is within 300 meters of a waterway. And according to our archaeological assessment, which I've been trying to figure out, it should have one because the existing structure is smaller than the structure that being built. So I just go back. I find it quite confusing, and this planning staff can't answer those questions. But as I said, that's more of a comment. 100%, I think this is a great development, and yeah.
All right, great. All right, Daniela, any questions?
No, I think it's really neat with the two garages, and with the site the way it is. So no, I have no questions. Thanks.
Great, Marion.
No, really cool and innovative way to do this. Love it.
All right.
Thanks.
Cheryl?
I love the Tudor look. What a gorgeous house. Yeah, beautiful. I have no questions, Mr. Chair. Not
Yeah,
at all.
no, I don't really have anything either. Most of the variances are fairly close, other than the 12.2 meters, whereas 26 is required, or 22 is required. But even that at 12 meters is still a significant setback compared to what we're normally used to at 1.2. So with this, I don't have any issues with it. I think it's a good use.
It's a corner.
Yeah, it's a corner lot. We always have trouble with corner lots.
Yeah. So I'll move it.
All right,
Second.
Cheryl will move. Jeff will second. If there's no further discussion, all in favor? That motion passes 5-0. Okay, to the applicant, this permission is not final until the expiration of the statutory appeal period of 20 days from the date the decision has been signed, during which the applicant, the minister, or a specified person or public body may file with the Secretary or Treasurer an appeal against the decision of the London Committee of Adjustment. But with that, consider the matter to be closed.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
Well done, Steve. Very well done.
Can we?
I think we're done.
Yeah. Can we get a motion to close or to adjourn?
I just want to thank the staff, and then let's make the motion. Good.
All right.
Good.
All right. Jeff will make the motion. Miriam will second from the looks of that. All in favor? That motion passes 5-0. We stand adjourned. Okay.
Perfect.
Thanks,
Everybody
everyone.
Yep. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Have a good weekend. It's supposed to be a lovely weekend.
Yep.
Cheryl will be at her pool.
Pool's open.
I was going to say Cheryl will be at her pool.
Not.
All right, everybody.